Hi, my name is Brianne Michaud, and I have taken one of Elka's positive parenting courses. I'll admit that when I had first signed up for the course, I was excited about it because I thought her course would help me to better control people, specifically children. And the results of her course has actually been a lot of self-growth for me and has improved my relationships with my husband, my children, my family, as well as my students, since I'm an elementary teacher. And I've taken a lot of the NVC principles and applied it to my classroom. My own children are still quite young, so although I still use a lot of the feelings and the needs and the whole idea that every behavior communicates a need before just flying off the handle so that everyone does what I want, and it has just been absolutely life-changing. In the classroom, let me tell you a little story. There was a little boy who was kicking his chair during a lesson, and it was a lot that day. And instead of just normally, I would say, oh, I'll call him Joshua, that's not his real name, please stop, or I'll take away a minute of recess and going through that whole song and dance. Instead, I use the principles of NVC, which are looking at observations, feelings, needs, and requests. So after the lesson was over, I took him aside and I just made the observation. I said, I noticed you were kicking the table leg during my lesson, and he agreed. And then we went through feelings. So I started with my own, and I said, I feel irritated when I hear knocking when I'm trying to give a mini lesson to our class. And your students, I moved on to his table mates, also feel annoyed when their table is being rocked. And then we went on to how he felt. And we found that he felt restless and fidgety and bored. And of course, I gave him some of this language to help him out since they're still young, the ones I teach. And then we moved on to needs. What do you need? And we found that he needed to move his body. And so finally, I made a request. And I just told him very simply, I would enjoy if the room was peaceful during our lessons. So could you help me with that? And he agreed very nicely, gently, quietly. And then we also set up, a little yoga mat that he was able to go and move after lessons so that his needs were also being met. And this was absolutely phenomenal to me, especially the first time I started using this observations, feelings, needs, requests method, because it really just slows down the whole situation and it gives much more positive results than just taking away minutes of recess. And so I've shared it with other teachers. I have so many handouts still on my fridge that I kind of cycle through depending on what I need. Elka provides just an atmosphere of trust during the classes that you learn so much from other people and are also so willing to share because it's such a safe environment. So if you're wanting to take her parenting course or any course about the NVC communication, I would absolutely recommend it because it has been life-changing for me.